Good evening. Welcome in daily UPSC editorial audio program. Working 9 to 5, the Times of India, and celebrate National Give Space Day, the Economic Times. The road to 2047 for Indian agriculture, the Hindu. Now the full editorial. Working 9 to 5, the Times of India. Once upon a time, we spent working hours in the office and personal hours away from it. This binary life feels like ancient history because that's that's how transformative the smartphone and the pandemic have been. Thanks to these two, the work site has been emancipated to go where you in turn have gotten shackled to it 24 into 7. Hence the growing worldwide cry for the right to disconnect, to ignore work calls, messages, and emails outside of working hours. Australia has become the latest country to enshrine it in law. France was the first. Neutralment. Japan, at the other extreme, has a word for death from overwork. Karoshi. Everyone clocking out at 40 hours a week and taking all the vacation to which they are entitled is unimaginable there. More generally, common sense says it should depend on the job. Someone who works at the intersection of multiple time zones, for example, can't deliver their KRAs doing 9 to 5. Then too, as Dolly Parton sings, doing a 9 to 5 job where you are just a step on the boss man's ladder is nobody's dream either. A toxic manager can give you a stress enough during the official work hours, while a job you love will eat into your holiday, no matter the law. Bottom line, workers are not slaves. We have to work to live, but our mindfulness about the kind of work-life balance we desire will only serve us well if we actually have choices. Celebrate National Space Day. The Economic Times. On Friday, the Indian state celebrated National Space Day, commemorating the first successful Indian moon landing on August 23, 2023. Indeed, it is a milestone worth celebrating and commemorating. But perhaps India could also observe every 25 August, starting this Sunday, as National Give Space Day. Despite its vastness, India is a densely populated country, 30th among countries, tiny Vatican City and Palestine included, with an average population density of 426.1 people square kilometer. Our urban spaces are even more jam-packed with conglomerations existing cheek by jowl, if not tumbling on each other. Within a vast number of households, family members coexist in more restricted spaces than in other more densely populated but richer countries like Singapore, Bahrain, and the Netherlands. Intimacy is a causality. Uh, the sanctity of personal space needs to be included from a young age, and this is as important as uh, instilling social values. The blurring of private and public space actually affecting both deleteriously. It's one thing to negotiate a crowd and quite another to become a crowd in somebody's private space. The need to sensitive people about the latter is not just about good manners but decent citizenry. By virtue of valuing the individual and his or her space. One could also organically become more aware of the difference between a caring state and a overbearing one. As with most social entities, clarity begins at home, allowing space between couples and the rest of the family, between guardians, parents, and their wards, children's etc. should be nurtured, not frowned upon. Effects of such a Lakshman Rekha in place can work wonder over time for the mental health of not just individuals but also of a society at large. The road to 2047 for Indian agriculture, the Hindu. These are several challenges but also opportunities. Uh, S- Saurya, Saurabrat Mahapatra Sanjeev Pohit. Saurabrat Mahapatra is with the National Council of Applied Economic Research and CEAR, New Delhi. Sanjeev Pohit is with the National Council of Applied Economic Research and CAER, New Delhi. India's centennial year of independence is still away in 2047, but the goal of becoming a developed nation looms large. Achieving this requires a significant increase in per capita gross national income (GNI) to about six times the current level. This necessitates a comprehensive development approach, especially in agriculture. Transforming Indian agriculture depends on adopting sustainable practice that ensure long-term productivity and environmental health. Preci- mm, prec- Precision farming, uh, gen- genetically modified crops, and advanced irrigation techniques such as the drip and sprinkler system are leading this transformation. For instance, the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana (PMKSY) has covered 78 lakh hectares, promoting water use efficiency through micro irrigation. The scheme's 93,068 crore rupees allocation of 2021 to 26 underscores the government's commitment to sustainable water management. India's agricultural sector faces challenges including climate change, land degradation, and market access issue. The Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana (PMFBY), introduced in 2016, provides financial assistance for crop losses. With 49.5 crore farmers enrolled and claimed, totaling over 1.45 lakh crore. The scheme is a cornerstone of agricultural risk management. The electronic National Agricultural Market (eNAM), launched in 2016, integrates existing markets through an electronic platform. By September 2023, 1,361 mandis have been integrated, benefiting 1.76 million farmers and recording trade worth 2.88 lakh crore. This initiative improves market access and ensures better price realization for farmers. And imbalance, despite agriculture engaging nearly 46% of the workforce, agriculture's contribution to GDP is about 18%, highlighting a stark imbalance. If current growth uh, trends continues, this disparity will worsen. While overall GDP has grown at 6.1 annually since 1991 to 1992, agricultural GDP lags at 3.3%. Under the Narendra Modi administration, overall GDP growth was 5.9%, and agricultural grew at 3.6%. However, this is insufficient for a sector so critical to the nation's socio-economic fabric. By 2047, agriculture's share in GDP might shrink to 7 to 8%, yet it could still employ over 30% of the workforce if significant structural changes are not implemented. This indicates that merely maintaining the current growth trajectory will not suffice. The expected 7.6% overall GDP growth for 2030 23 to 24 is promising. However, the agri GDP's anemic growth of 0.7%, primarily due to unseasonal rain, is alarming. Further, according to United Nations projections, India's population is expected to reach 1.5 billion by 2030 and 1.59 billion by 2040. Following the agricultural challenges, meeting the food requirements of this bargaining population will be imperative. With an estimated expenditure elasticity of food at 0.45, the demand for food is expected to grow by approximately 2.85% annually. Considering the population growth rate of 0.85%, India's real per capita income increased by 41% from 2011 12 to 2021-22 and is projected to accelerate further. However, the expenditure elasticity post 2023 is anticipated to be lower, correlating a 5% rise in per capita expenditure to a 2% growth in demand. The anticipated food demand will vary among commodities. Will meet demand growing by 5.42% and rise demand by mere 0.34%. To address these challenges, rationalizing food and fertilizer subsidies and redirecting savings towards agricultural research and development, innovation and extension services are crucial. Several initiatives have been rolled out to bolster farmer prosperity and sustainable agricultural growth. The Pradhan Mantri Krishi Samman Nidhi launched in 2019 disburses 6,000 annually to farmers in 3 installments. This scheme has already benefited over 11.8 crore farmers, offering much needed financial support. Another critical initiative, the Soil Health Card SHC schemes, aims to optimize soil nutrient use, thereby enhancing agricultural productivity. Over 23 crore SHCs have been distributed, providing farmers with crucial insights into soil health and nutrient management. The government also championed the International Year of Millets in 2023, promoting nutritious coarse grains both domestically and internationally. The Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, with a rupees 1 lakh crore financing facility, supports the development and modernization of mm, post-harvest management infrastructure. Within 3 years, over 38,326 projects have been sanctioned, mobilizing 30 crore in the agriculture infrastructure sector. These projects have created employment for more than 5.8 lakh individuals and improved farmers' incomes by 20% to 25% through better price realization. Moreover, the survey of villages and mapping with improvised technology in village areas, Swamit initiatives, aims to ensure transparent property ownership in rural areas. As of September 2023, over 1.6 crore property cards have been generated, enhancing land security and facilitating credit access for farmers. Strategic planning. The government's strategic planning for agriculture leading up to 2047 focuses on several key areas. Anticipated future demand for agricultural products, insights from past growth catalyst, existing challenges and potential opportunities in the agricultural landscape. Projections indicate that the total demand for food grains in 2047-48 will range from 4 402 million tons to 7 to 4 point, to 437 million tons, with production anticipated to exceeds demand by 10% to 13% under the business as usual BAU scenario. However, to meet this demand sustainably, significant investments in agriculture research, infrastructure, and policy supports are required. The budget for 2024-25 with an allocation of 20 lakh crore for targeted agriculture credit and the launch of the Agriculture Accelerated Fund highlights the government's proactive approach to fostering agriculture innovation and growth. The road to 2047 presents both challenges and opportunities for Indian agriculture by embracing sustainable practice, leveraging technological innovations, and implementing strategic initiatives. India can enhance farmer income, meet the food demand for its growing population, and achieve inclusive sustainable development. Thank you.